how are you today? What? Why are you looking at me like that? Ah, because of my eyelashes? Oh yes, I don't know. I woke up this morning and they had grown. Strange, isn't it? But then I found out that in times of quarantine, eyelashes grow a lot. It's, I know it's very strange, but somehow I like them. I look beautiful, I know. All right, today we are going to read chapters 16 and 17 of our Bradley book, the one that Miss Papaya called There's a Boy in the Girl's Bathroom. I know, she's crazy. It's the Bradley book. So, in chapter 16, we know that Bradley had told his mum that some bullies had punched him in the eye, remember? So now Bradley, it was the following day, and Bradley was walking slowly, holding his hand over his eye so nobody would see it because he had a black eye. So he was holding his hand over his eye so that nobody could see that he had been punched. His mother would have let him stay home from school, but his father said he had to go. He's scared, his mother had said. Some bullies have been terrorizing him. His father said, babying him will not solve the problem. He has to learn to stand up for himself. The only reason the bullies pick on him is because they know he's afraid. I don't know. Some bullies bother you all the same, whether you are afraid or not. Bullies are bullies, and they always bother people. So, very carefully, Bradley walked across the schoolyard, hand over one eye, and entered Mrs. Ebel's class. Jeff's chair was empty. Do you remember that Jeff was accused by Bradley's mom? Bradley's mom probably phoned the school and accused Jeff of punching Bradley. So probably Jeff was at the principal's office talking to her. Like when you go to Miss Andrea's office and Miss Andrea scolds you, and maybe if you did something wrong, well, maybe Jeff was in the principal's office and who knows what she was telling him, accusing him of having punched Bradley. So, good, Bradley thought, still covering his eye. He probably got kicked out of school. Out of his uncovered eye, he looked at the chart full of gold stars on the wall next to him. Do you remember that he was going to do his homework with Jeff and he thought that maybe Mrs. Ebel would give him a gold star if he did his homework? But now he looked at the chart full of gold stars and he was glad he didn't have one. He thought gold stars were ugly. Mrs. Ebel was in the middle of teaching the difference between adjectives and adverbs when he suddenly stopped and asked, Bradley, is there anything the matter with your eye? No, said Bradley. Then, said Mrs. Ebel, please take your hand away from it. I can't, he said. Why can't you? He quickly tried to think of a reason why he had to keep his eye covered. His mind raced through a number of ideas. My hand is stuck. It's stuck. It got stuck to his face. He said, It's stuck? Asked Mrs. Ebel. I was gluing, and he was putting some glue I was gluing something and got glue on my hand, and then I accidentally touched my face with my hand and it got stuck. Bradley, said Mrs. Ebel, take your hand away from your eye. He grabbed his wrist with his free hand and pretended to try to pull it away. Do you understand? He did like, I can't. It's stuck. Do you want to go to the principal's office? She asked. She's good at unsticking things. Wait, I think it's starting to loosen now, he said. He pried his hand away. There was a bluish-black circle around his eye. For a few seconds, nobody said anything. Then everybody started talking at once. What happened? Said Mrs. Ebel, but then quickly said, oh, never mind, Bradley. I don't want to know. She told the class to turn around and started again on adjectives and adverbs. Jeff walked in late. He said something to Mrs. Ebel and then sat down next to Bradley. Jeff had probably been at the head's office. We don't know what happened there. When the bell rang for recess, for break time, he put his hand over his eye, Bradley, and hurried outside. Melinda probably told the whole school that she beat me up. She's so stupid, said Bradley to Jeff. No, I don't think she told anybody. After you left, she asked me not to tell anyone what happened. She made Laurie and Colleen promise not to tell. So, apparently, nobody knew at school that Bradley had been punched by Melinda. No, she's probably afraid I'll punch her face in, said Bradley. Well, probably, said Jeff. Then this morning I was called into the principal's office. She thought I was the one who hit you. What did you tell her? Bradley asked. Jeff shrugged. I told her you are my best friend. The principal is stupid, Bradley agreed. So, apparently, nobody knows at school who punched Bradley. And probably the head believed Jeff when he said that he hadn't punched him, because Jeff told her, but Bradley is my best friend. I would never punch him. So, now comes chapter 17, which is also short. Jeff and Bradley were eating lunch together. Hey, Jeff, called Robbie, one of the boys of the classroom. Come over here. A group of boys was with him. Hi, Jeff, said Brian, a boy from his class. This is Jeff Fishkin, Robbie told the boys who weren't in the class. He's the guy who gave Chokers the black eye. So everybody thought that Jeff had punched Bradley. Way to go, Jeff, said one of the boys. All right, Jeff, said another. Oh, man, would I have liked to have seen that. So, what will Jeff say now? You didn't get in trouble, did you, Jeff? Asked Dan. Jeff shook his head. Do you like to play basketball, Jeff? Asked Andy. Sure, said Jeff. And they played basketball. And Bradley? Where is Bradley? Oh, Bradley maybe stayed there having lunch all alone. So the break finished and everybody told Jeff that he had played a great game. I always wondered why a guy like you was hanging around with chokers, said Robbie. Jeff smiled. These were the kind of friends she had when she went to the other school in Washington, remember? Of course, it meant that he couldn't be friends with Bradley anymore. But he shrugged, like he didn't care that he wasn't going to be able to be Bradley's friend anymore. Poor Bradley. He was so happy to have a friend like Jeff. And now, he won't even have him. Well, maybe it was Bradley's fault. Bradley had accused Jeff with his mom of punching him. That is not nice, Bradley. All right, kids, and that is all for today. So, see you next class. Bye-bye. And look at yourselves in the mirror now. Maybe your eyelashes grew too. Who knows? It's times of quarantine when eyelashes grow a lot. Bye. Love you.